right, so today we are diving deep into this really fascinating tension. It's a contrast between status that's manufactured, visible and loud.
The kind that screams for your attention.
Exactly. And on the other side, power that is quiet, profound, and often deliberately hidden from view.
Yeah, and our mission here is to sort of give you a shortcut through these modern hierarchies of influence. We've pulled from all over marketing case studies on, spectacular failures like Fire and Revolve.
Oh, yeah.
All the way to analyses of youth culture, social media, and even this deep dive into what's called the almighty janitor trope.
So I guess the big question we're asking for you is this. In a world that is completely obsessed with public visibility, with those perfect feeds, what's the real source of power?
And where does it actually live? Let's find out.
Okay, so let's kick things off with, where else can you start but the festival world. Fire Festival is just the ultimate cautionary tale.
It absolutely is. And what's so wild when you look at the sources isn't just the failure, it's the marketing. The initial marketing was breathtakingly successful.
The promise was just pure fantasy, right? A celebrity experience on Pablo Escobar's private island.
And targeted so perfectly at wealthy millennials, people who would pay anything for that feeling of exclusivity.
And they just nailed it. The social media campaign was genius. We're talking more than 400 influencers all posting that same blank orange tile.
And the result, the sources show, was that it sold out in under 48 hours. That's not just marketing, that's like mass hypnosis.
But the collapse shows the flip side of that, right? The same tool that built it up just tore it all down.
Instantly. The second people landed and started posting pictures of those FEMA tents and wet mattresses, it was over. Social media became the wrecking ball.
The fraud was just amplified immediately.
Yeah, spectacle can't survive without substance.
And that desire for prestige, it fuels the hierarchies you see at every festival. Look at Coachella. A regular ticket is what, $500?
Right, but if you want VIP, you're looking at $1,000. Easy. Ultra in Miami is even more extreme. General admission is maybe $350, but VIP starts at over $1,200.
So is it even worth that standard VIP pass?
When we looked into it, the answer is often a hard no. At places like Bonnaroo or Gov Ball, the lines for regular folks they're fine, manageable. You're basically paying double just for a slightly shorter wait.
You're buying the title.
Exactly. You're buying the status, not the actual comfort.
The sources say the only tiers that actually deliver are those, like platinum or icon passes. That's where you get real structural relief.
Right, because you're not just paying for a shorter line, you're paying for what actually matters in a huge crowd in the middle of summer.
Air-conditioned bathrooms.
Air-conditioned bathrooms, which honestly are priceless. No lines, free food and drinks at some places. At Ultra or Arc, you get these elevated viewing decks. You're literally paying to be insulated from the chaos.
And you saw this same thing implode again in 2022 with the Revolve Festival. People immediately called it a micro-fire fest.
Yeah, it was this invite-only thing that was all about generating content for the brand. They used influence as currency.
So they give creators, a couple $1,000 in free clothes?
Right, just to wear and post. But again, zero logistics. The sources talked about influencers being stranded for hours in the heat, no water, no support, just full of chaos trying to get on a shuttle.
It's unbelievable. These are the very people hired to project this image of effortless luxury, and they're stuck in this unsafe, disorganized mess.
But here's the really messed up part. The sources show there was this immense pressure to lie about it. Influencers were scared of being blacklisted by Revolve if they posted anything negative.
Wow.
So they felt they had to keep up the highlight reel fantasy even while they were miserable just to protect their job. It shows you how fragile that whole system is. And that intense pressure to maintain a perfect image, it leads us right into the huge mental cost of chasing status, especially for younger people.
Yeah, we're way past this being just harmless fun. This chase for likes, for virality, is driving some seriously risky behavior. We know the teenage brain is just wired for it.
It is. They're drawn to these social media challenges, driven by peer pressure and this desire to, master their own impulsivity. But it's gone way too far.
Oh, for sure. Think about the blackout challenge. It encourages kids to choke themselves until they pass out. That's literally starving your brain of oxygen.
And it's been linked to serious brain damage, even death, especially in kids 12 and under. It's horrifying.
Or the one chip challenge. People eating a chip coated in one of the world's hottest peppers. It's led to actual physical trauma injuries.
Then you get the just bizarre stuff like the sleepy chicken challenge, cooking chicken in NyQuil. It sounds ridiculous, but it's a real overdose risk. They're performing danger for status points.
And all of this is happening against a backdrop of these totally unrealistic beauty standards.
Yeah.
Reality TV, the Kardashians, Love Island, they're all selling this one very narrow, very expensive look.
Flash clusters, lip fillers, that perfect dewy skin.
Yeah, and the consequences are serious. We know the thin ideal can be deadly, but the research also links social media use directly to body dissatisfaction, to people considering cosmetic surgery. They call it Snapchat dysmorphia.
And it's trickling down. The drunk elephant trend is seeing kids like 11 or 12 years old using these harsh adult-grade skincare products with retinol and peptides.
Their skin can't handle it.
Not at all. But they're desperate to get that curated, high-status look they see online.
You know, it's fascinating. Studies actually confirm this link between celebrity worship and, well, real dysfunction. High levels of it correlate with things like maladaptive daydreaming and problematic internet use.
It really becomes an escape. But to be fair, the sources also highlight the positive side. You have people like Selena Gomez, who uses her huge platform to talk openly about her bipolar disorder. She co-founded a mental wellness company.
That's using status for good.
And then you have Simone Biles. Her decision at the Tokyo Olympics to prioritize her mental health over performance, that was a game changer.
Oh, absolutely. She got this massive global wave of support for it.
She chose her own internal competence, knowing her limits over the world's demand for a show. That's the ultimate subversion of status.
And that moment, choosing your own well-being over the performance, brings us perfectly to our third segment. The idea of the almighty janitor. This is like the complete opposite of Fire Festival.
It's the perfect encapsulation of hidden competence. The idea is a character with the lowest possible official rank, a janitor, a cook, a clerk, who actually holds the most power or skill.
They're the invisible backbone of the whole operation.
Exactly. And their power comes from being invisible. Nobody pays attention to the cleaner, so they have total access and no one interferes. Maybe they're there because they messed up a previous life, or maybe they just prefer the quiet.
I love the Dilbert example. The garbage man in the comic is secretly the world's smartest man.
Right. And there's that joke about how the janitor makes more per hour than the salaried engineer because he gets overtime and he reads magazines in the closet. He figured out the system.
That is quiet structural power.
In fiction, it's often literal. The janitor literally has the keys. In the game Control, the janitor, Ati, seems to be a god who runs the whole secret government agency.
How does he get everywhere?
Well, the janitor always has the keys.
Or you get the low-rank badass trope. Steven Seagal in Under Siege. He's a former Navy SEAL, but he's hiding out as a cook.
Or Zatoichi, the blind master who's secretly the greatest swordsman alive. His low status is his armor.
Okay, but wait, isn't this just, a romantic fantasy for people who feel powerless at their job? Does this actually work in the real world?
That's the crucial question. And it's romanticized for sure, but political history shows us this is a very real, very effective power dynamic. Think about Joseph Stalin. When he was made general secretary in 1922, the other party leaders, like Trotsky, they saw it as a boring, low-status desk job. A paper pusher.
So they totally catastrophically underestimated the position.
Completely. Stalin used that role to control the entire party machine. He was in charge of all appointments, all the paperwork, all the personnel. He quietly put his loyalists everywhere.
So when the power struggle started, after Lenin died,
he already had a massive loyal power base built into the structure of the state. His rivals had the fancy titles, but he had the actual control. He was the ultimate almighty janitor.
That's a perfect parallel to Fire. They had the marketing, but zero infrastructure. Stalin had a boring title, but controlled all the infrastructure.
And you see it again with Deng Xiaoping, who ruled China as the top leader without ever holding the top official jobs. His power came from controlling the military and the party elders, not from a title.
Even in science, right?
Yeah.
Einstein developed his theories while working as a patent clerk.
A role that gave him the time and freedom to think without all the academic politics. And Michael Faraday, who basically invented the electric motor, he refused a knighthood. He refused to be president of the Royal Society.
He just wanted to do the work.
His authority came from his competence, not from any title the hierarchy could give him.
So if we pull all of this together, we started with this spectacular high-status flameout, the orange tile disaster, and we've ended up with the quiet power of people operating outside the official ranks.
Yeah, the common thread here is the total irrelevance of your position versus the absolute importance of your capability. Fire and Revolve prove that a flashy marketing push will just shatter if there's no substance underneath.
And the almighty janitor proves the opposite. that real power flows from knowledge and access and competence, no matter what your job title is.
So I think the takeaway for you as you listen to this is pretty powerful. You don't need the platinum pass or the huge influencer following to have influence.
Right, sometimes the lowest rank gives you the best view of what's actually going on.
Because, as the saying goes, nobody pays much attention to him. You get this unfiltered knowledge and the freedom to act without all the bureaucracy weighing you down.
You know, speaking of spectacle and status, we came across that bizarre Burger King story. They created a menu in tribute to a performance artist, Peter Pawlenski.
Yeah, the artist who is most famous for nailing his scrotum to red square.
And Burger King's goal, they said, was to bring culture to the masses.
Just think about that. The pure superficiality of fast food marketing, trying to absorb this incredibly shocking, low-status artistic act just to get attention.
So what does that even mean? Is spectacle just only half of marketing?
Or maybe it's a sign that the real power is the person who has to clean up the mess. I mean, when the fictional janitor we talked about was asked for his message to the world, he didn't give some grand speech.
What did he say?
He just said, clean up your own mess before you call it enlightenment. That quiet demand for accountability, I think that's the ultimate